Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. It has definitely been a minute since I posted a video here. Well, longer than a minute. It's been like 2 years, but you know what? Who cares about that? We are back. Yes, we are back indeed. I'm very excited. This is actually my first voiceover. And I wasn't sure whether I was gonna do it or not, but I was like, you know what? Let's go for it and let's see what happens. But yeah, let's see, where do I start? Okay, yeah, so after you hear this, amazing build, I actually didn't have much of an idea what I wanted to build. Like, I knew I wanted to do a restaurant. I wasn't sure what type of restaurant. I also didn't have like a reference picture that I was using to build this. I was just going with the flow, to say it in a way. And it kind of worked out. But yeah, you see me here, I'm trying to figure out what shape I'm gonna give to this building. This restaurant right here, it is for my save file. I am currently working on a save file. I'm mainly focusing on Willow Creek, Oasis Springs, and Newcrest. This build specifically is for Newcrest, and all the time, like I said, when I was building it, I knew I wanted to build a restaurant. I just wasn't sure what type of restaurant I was gonna build, or how I wanted to go about it. So like I said, I was going with the flow. You see me here, I'm trying to figure out the layout and whatnot. This part wasn't so difficult because in a way I kind of I have other restaurants on my save file, and let's just say that I have a style. You will see me using those windows a lot on the upcoming videos. Every time it is a restaurant or any type of community lot or maybe a retail lot, you will see me using those windows. Those are from the Snow Escape pack. I really like them. They're very nice. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I'm picking the colors. This part I kind of figured out very quick, because like I said, I do have a style for these builds. If you check my gallery, you will see that a lot of my buildings for Willow Creek and Newcrest have a similar aesthetic, and this is on purpose just because I kind of want everything to be very cohesive and like match each other. And also, the way I like to build, or that I'm building right now anyway, for my save file, Newcrest is just an extension of Willow Creek. In my mind, they connect somehow, and they are one word that are divided in two, so they are just the same. But yeah, I'm building with that vision, mainly. But yeah, anyway, here you see me. I already skipped some of the things. Guys, I was struggling to trying to figure out what I was gonna use. I end up using those dine out. What's the name of those things? It's like a booth type of thing. But yeah, I end up using those. Those are my favorites. I use them every restaurant build that I have, pretty much. Now I was a little bit skeptical because I find myself using the same items, over and over, and I will feel guilty about this because I'm like, oh my god, all my builds are gonna end up looking the same. But you know what, I was like, whatever, because I like how they look. I like the aesthetic and how they look in the game. So I really, I'm trying not to really think too much about it. I do repeat a little of the items throughout my builds, and when I like something, I use a lot. Those counters are also an example of that. I use those counters a lot. You will see them in a lot of my builds, not so much for residential lots, but mainly for like community lots and stuff. Anyway, but yeah, so I decided to use for the bar area those parenthood chairs, or like bar stools. I really like those. Like I said, I wasn't sure what aesthetic I was going for. Now after placing those little tables, that's when in my mind kind of clicked. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do kind of like an Italian restaurant. Now I was thinking that already here, but until I changed the style, there's a style for that little table with the cloth on top. that it has like a square pattern, and it's like red and white, and for whatever reason that was screaming Italian for me. Maybe it's just that I don't know, maybe there's a pizza thing or a pizza joint that has those colors. I don't know, for whatever reason I was thinking Italian with that, and I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna go for. So it pretty much, the aesthetic maybe it's not Italian, but the menu itself of the restaurant is Italian inspired, right? So there's pizza, there's pasta, and some Italian, so like tiramisu is there. But yeah, anyway, so here, like I said, I was struggling, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have an idea of what I was gonna, you know, how I wanted the lot to look like. I didn't have a reference picture. So anyway, I was struggling with the floor plan. But I also don't like to do a lot of walls, because me personally, I like to play with walls up. You know, not on my residential lot, but like in community lot, I like to have the walls up, which, you know, made me struggle sometimes when I'm looking for decoration for the walls. Same thing with the wallpaper. Like here I'm using this wallpaper, I can't remember from what pack that is. I really like it, and I use it throughout the build, but I do change it last minute towards the end, just because it felt like it was too bright, like too much white, right? And I didn't really have that much decorations. But yeah, well, here I am kind of like doing the restaurants. I mean, there's nothing special about restaurants and community lots. It's just a standard, so the Sims can take care of their needs. Nothing special. So you'll see here, you know, just a sink, mirror, toilet, and a couple of decorations. And I'm actually just placing things as I go. I'm finding things. Also, just to say, there's no custom content on this build, so everything is just you know, the items of the game. I will say as well, I don't restrict myself. I own every pack of the Sims except for the last 2 kits that came out, because there's not really an item in those kits that I'm dying to use, so I don't have any rush to get them, you know, so I just take my time with those. But yeah, I just use the items that I like. I'm trying to do some decoration in this area right here, but like I said, I did struggle with that as well. But I really like this new mechanic that we have, you know, with these little plants, how you can also like water them and whatnot, like take care of the plants. But yeah, anyway, so back to the story, because I feel like I've been going on around. So pretty much this is gonna be an Italian restaurant, and it's gonna be owned on my save file from one of the Sims that is gonna own this restaurant. Imagine it's gonna be a guy that has a really big family. I'm named the restaurant at the end Gustavo's, and I think that will be the name of the guy. I haven't created them, but that's just my idea. I envision that he has a really good big family, you know, and they probably have a farm, and you know, they plant their own tomatoes, and they made their own tomato sauce, so they made the pasta from scratch, so they very traditional. I also like to imagine that, you know, maybe all these like side tables and whatnot is like very old furniture that they bought from Italy and brought here to Newcrest or whatever, so that they can, you know, have in their restaurant. So there's like very high value. It is a family restaurant, but you know, it's still fancy in a way. He's really proud of what he's done in this place. I just, you know, let's just put it that way. Anyway, so yeah, here I'm trying to decorate a little bit. You know, none of this is gonna stay the way it is. I will skip a lot of this because again, I was struggling. Yeah, I'm just placing some lights, kind of like removing the big ones and putting the smaller ones. Actually, this was up there like years ago. I remember when people were making that the big lamp like really small, and then they went ahead and added the little one. I'm so glad they did that, because I was tired of making that lamp small. That's one of the best lights that we have in game. But yeah, anyway, here I'm attempting to, you know, add some extra lights, because now that we need them just for aesthetic, I guess, so that it looks kind of pretty, you know. And so if you there you Simpson trying to take pictures and now you can see that lamp and your screenshots, that might look pretty. Yeah, I try to think about stuff like that. But yeah, that little area in the corner that has those sitting tables with the 2 chairs, that will also change later, just because in my head I was thinking, okay, that would be like a private area where you can have like a romantic dinner and whatever. But then I realized I don't have a 6-seater in here, so if you have a big family, you go visit this restaurant, then you won't have enough space for your family, or you have to like remove some of the chairs and add a big table. So I don't want you to have to deal with all that. I would add some 2-seater tables like around somewhere, I think in the middle of the lobby, and then there will be in this area there will be like a table for with 6 chairs, will be for 6 sims. So there's plenty of space. Now if we have a household with 8 sims, you could probably add 2 more chairs to that, I'm sure. But anyways, I also decided to do that little room on the side that is like an office. I imagine that Gustavo's probably, when he comes to the restaurant, he likes to sit there and kind of like maybe he'll order groceries and like, I don't know, maybe he will call in and talk to his employees there, whatever. So that will be the space where he will spend some of the time. And probably not all the time, because I see him as the owner. I was a person that will be, he's part of his restaurant, so he will like be walking around and greeting people and thanking them for coming to his restaurant, asking them how the food is and all that. So yeah, I don't know whether I'll do a creative sim for the sims. For my save file, I struggle creating sims, okay. Like I have a good imagination for stories and whatnot, but when it comes to faces, like I'm not really good. I definitely like reference pictures. But yeah, here I'm placing this little thing. I think this one is for university maybe, or like get together. I really like this piece. I think I end up using a different one because I didn't like the wood tone. I think it was too much orange. Yeah, I ended up using this one instead. And again, I'll skip the part because I was struggling, okay. And now I'm gonna repeat myself. Oh yeah, look, the kitchen is complete. Did that even happen? But yeah, another part that I was struggling with. So here I'm just putting some decorations around. Don't mind the video, like please don't. Again, kitchen, nothing special, similar to the restrooms. Like I'm just putting the main things for functionality, so that the sims can access things easily. I always like to add 2 kitchen sets just so that we have 2 cooks in the restaurant. Now I think when you play as the owner of the restaurant, you hire your own staff and you start with 1 cook. I think I can remember exactly. I haven't played with that now in a long time. But I will have to test that, because when you don't own the restaurant or you're not playing the family of the restaurant, then there will always be 2 sims cooking, and I've seen that helps with how fast the orders come out, so you don't have to wait that long to get served, okay. So that has helped me. Now I also have the Die Now Reloaded mod. Can't remember the name of the creator, but there's the mod out there that helps with a lot of the routings and stuff for the Die Now pack, which I love that we are able to build restaurants, because I love building community lots, specifically at restaurants. If you check my YouTube channel, you will see that I just have a bunch of diners there because that's what I love to build. I need some variety, okay, and I'm working on it. All right, I'm working on it, but we're doing this right now. Anyway, so yeah, I think you are able, it is faster when you have 2 kitchens, because there will be 2 cooks, so your orders will come out quicker. If you had that mod, that will probably also help. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much left to do inside the restaurant. Like I'm just decorating in the outside area, and then this is the office I was telling you guys about, where the owner could do some honor stuff, I guess, like just share the computer. I just put a computer. There's like 2 lockers there, which are non-functional, because those lockers are they are from the high school pack, so it's not really functional at the restaurant. And I think I add like a phone and probably like a trash can, and that would be it for that area. Yeah, there's not really that many decorations for the little space, because I don't see the Sims spending that much time there either. And if I was playing, I also was not gonna spend that much time in there anyway. So yeah, so what I'm doing here now. Okay, so I guess I move on to the outside area. So I'm pretty much done with the inside. Yeah, you're still probably gonna see me going there a couple of times, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out the layout for this parking space. You know what, this is something that has helped me a lot with building big lots, you know. So this is a 30 by 30, I'm pretty sure, and the lot is not even that big. I'm not one, I don't really do a lot of like decoration for the outside, like what's the name for it, I don't do a lot of trees and stuff like that. I feel like I'll do a couple, you know, but then I don't like them to be in the middle of the lot that it will interfere with what I'm playing. So yeah, and I'm not really good at putting plants together either. I feel like we already have enough green with, you know, the grass outside the lot. But anyway, doing these little parking spaces not only help with the realism that I'm trying to go for, but also helps me take care of that space, because I don't know what I'm gonna do with the space, so I just put parking space, you know, even though we don't have functional cars, that still helps me. But yeah, anyway, this little area out here, so I did put it a little because I was thinking, you know, maybe this is just for gameplay ideas. I was like, maybe the Sims will go here and, you know, during the break, you know, to take a smoke or whatever. Obviously that's not something that you do in the game, but if you have the base mental jogs mod, that's something your Sims can do, right? So if, you know, for storytelling purposes, right, you could probably, you know, if you playing as the owner or whatever, you can just go outside and have a smoke, right? So that would be the area for that. So yeah, I'm just placing some little details outside. There's still a little bit more that I'm gonna be adding. I think I will add like some lights and whatnot in a second, and I also decided at like last minute to add like some tables, and after I added those, I think I do change some of the chairs inside. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I'm still adding some decorations. Like I said, you know, I was not done, and now I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna put that table. But anyway, yeah, I leave it there because I guess it looks good there. I do like it. I like it. I also, there was a point when I was trying to look for like kind of like stickers and stuff like that to put in like the windows, but I couldn't find anything that screamed Italian, so I did end up putting some that you will see on the screenshots. It's like a chef hat or whatever, and I think that's come with the 9-hour pack, either that or with the pets pack, I can't remember, and it lights up a little bit at night. Yeah, so this item that I'm using is kind of like a flower bed, you know. That's from the debug or the live edit area of the menu, which I have unlocked thanks to the Better Build by mod by Twisted Maxi. You know, I love that mod, love me tool. I really, you know, if those mods are not working, I probably, you know, probably won't be building. Like, it's just, it helps so much, I feel like. So I really enjoy playing with those mods. Also, what was I gonna say? I kind of forgot. Well, yeah, anyway, this is more debug stuff. Oh yeah, that. So that's what I like to do on the outside. You see that I do that a lot. If you like I said, if you go to my gallery, you will see it. Okay, a little my restaurant. Oh, there in the corner. If you look at the back, there's another lot back there that has the same thing. Okay, these are the things that help me take care of that extra space that I don't know how to fill. Okay, and it works out because basically, you know, we have those, you know, I don't know where you guys live, but where I live here in Kentucky, there's a lot of lots like that. It just, you have like, they have the little fences thingy, and then they have the trash at the back, and a bunch of parking space. You know, realistically, you know, I think it works out. But yeah, it helps me because, you know, I save so much time, and then I don't have to decorate because I have no imagination for the outside of a building, you know. And I think because I'm so used to building restaurants, that's what makes it have made it so much easier for me. Kind of like, you know, because it's the same thing. I do the same thing for all of them, you know, just in different fonts pretty much, but I use the same items outside. Yeah, here I'm trying to put some plants out here. I think I use some of the Stranger Build plant. Check it. Yeah, I think it was some of the Stranger Build pack plants, which it is a really pretty. I like the green and white that we have. Come on, where's the plant? That's not the one. Where is it? Where is it? It looks like I'm looking for it. That's not the one I'm gonna use. Yeah, okay, that one right there. Yeah, that one is really pretty. I like the colors. I think in the final version that I submitted for the gallery, I do change that, but you know, no biggie, you can put it back. It's still pretty good. I do change my mind a lot. Okay, yeah, those umbrellas are there are red now. On the gallery version they'll be white, but or like light brown, whatever. I can't remember exactly. I think, yeah, I think I did white or cream, one of those two. Don't mind it too much, you know. If you prefer the red, just change it back to red if you decide to use this light. All right. Yeah, so here I'm picking some chairs for here, and I think I use those from the not spooky pack, but that other kit that we had. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, that's where those chairs are from, and I decided to use them inside as well. There it is. Now I'm just adding some, you know, some extra lighting. I think it looks very cute, very fancy. But yeah, what else I'm gonna do here? Okay, just extra decorations, saving, of course. Gotta make sure we save that game. Yeah, and I mean we're heading towards the end. I think here I'm just gonna, yeah, exactly, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of the frame, then I will add some extra decorations, and then right after this I think we jump straight to some of the screenshots. So, you know, I really enjoy being here, guys. This is my first voiceover. I was probably, like I said, all over the place. Don't mind it. I really hope you enjoyed the build. You know, it will be on my gallery. My gallery ID is AdoraSims. You'll find it in the description. You know, this build will be there along with other ones. So just let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the screenshots, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.